Hello, welcome. I'm actually happy that I have another opportunity to talk to you guys. I'm actually sometimes really excited to make these videos, but the reason why you clicked on this video is because I understand how you think and how you behave. Now here's the thing, on social media you have a lot of quick results, and never ever do I promote quick results. What I believe in is a lifestyle, a certain set of habits that you should do on a day-to-day basis which will get you the result for the long run. Now in this video I want to crush your limiting beliefs regarding perfectionism, which will inevitably lead to procrastination and frustration, but solely just becoming that person that is worthy of being fit. Now should you listen to me? Well, that's for you to decide. I've been in shape for 9 years and I've been reading a lot of books about philosophy, and I have a unique perspective on the world. Now, does that make me an expert? No, but I've been consistent for 9 years, and I've been in the military for 5 years, and now it's been a year since I've started coaching entrepreneurs and career-driven men and women to get an amazing shape and just reprogram their habits and their routine so they can live more mindfully, stress-free, and have more focus. Now, if you're still here, congrats. Now let me open up your mind. So I had this client, Dylan, who was in shape before, but right now he's even in better shape, but he's been struggling with reaching his fullest potential. And the reason being was because he has a business. He still has, but it takes up a lot of his time, a lot of his effort, a lot of his energy. Regardless, in the back of his mind, he always knew that he was worthy of more, and he still wants to be in great shape whilst running a business, because deep down, he always knew that it was possible. Now, from the first call that we've had, I knew, and he told me that he was suffering from perfectionism and analysis paralysis. Now, there is no perfect routine or a perfect approach. The only thing that makes the difference is showing up. And it's the showing up part which is really hard, because you have an ego, and it doesn't mean that you're egotistical. You have an ego protecting you. Your ego wants you to stay where you are right now. It wants you to remain in the position that you are in. Now, every single time that you want to pursue a goal within any vertical of your life, your ego will start rapid firing negative thoughts and limiting beliefs as well, because subconsciously you've been programmed to think this way. For example, a guy goes to a gym and he's so worried about what other people think of him, if he's doing the right stuff, if it's like, if this even is for me, will it even pay off? All these thoughts that he has, only when he reacts to these thoughts makes friction and he starts to believe it. This will only show the ego, and the ego has proof that you are this person. But when you go against it and you don't listen to these thoughts and you simply just show up until you have a slight result, then that slight result is to show to your ego that you can be that person. You can actually be someone else. But a lot of people never really get pushed over that ledge. I've been pushed over that ledge multiple times in the military, and now I've realized how to do it myself. And the only way that I've realized this is by meditating and becoming more mindful of myself and becoming aware of my thoughts and how I feel. Now, a lot of men and even women, they think of this skeptically. What kind of hippie stuff is this? But to be honest, you live this life once. Why not make the best of it? Why shouldn't you become aware of yourself? Nonetheless, when you start making that progress, you push yourself over that ledge and you get some results going, and it's like compounding and you start to feel good. Your ego will still lay traps right in front of you. And usually these traps come with perfectionism, and that is when you fail. So you start doing, let's take meditation, right? It's the same with workouts. You start with 5 minutes, then you go to 10 minutes, you go to 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And then one and the other day, there's something going on and you feel a bit stressed and you just don't feel it, and circumstances, they aren't right. And then, yeah, fuck, I don't have time to do 30 minutes of meditation. Boom, perfectionism kicks in, and the ego has every right to keep firing more thoughts in that way for you to justify, or for it just to prove to itself that you're not that guy. You're not mindful, you're not that meditative person. But you forgot that you could do 5 minutes, or even just sit down and count your breath. And then everyone is like, yeah, that's true. But they won't do it. They still won't. And that is where the magic happens, when you can push yourself in that moment, decreasing the resistance in time. That is where the magic happens. That is when you get rid of perfectionism and you simply show up. Because like I said, there is no perfect routine. There is no perfect meditation. There is no perfect workout. It is simply showing up and doing it. You are habitual. So when you realize that, you can use it to your benefit. You can see yourself from a third perspective in that way. And you go about your day and you start doing habits. And when you can see yourself from a third perspective, you see yourself doing these habits, but there's nothing that can stop you. You can become aware of it. Subconsciously, you will do it. It's programmed. You're programmed to do certain things in a certain way and react in a certain way. You can't get rid of that. You can reprogram it, but you can never really get rid of it. But the first stage is by realizing it. It's by identifying it. Sometimes my clients come to me and they're chasing their physique, right? They put in the workouts that I give them and they have an injury, or they find themselves having like a mobility issue or a flexibility issue or any injury at all. And they get really beat down because of that. And I can tell you, in the 9 years that I've been training, I've had like 9 or 10 or 11 injuries. I couldn't even train for 3 months straight. Now I get that that is really frustrating and it's not a nice position to be in. But here's the thing, you've been able to identify what the problem is, what the bottleneck is. Now, a lot of people will never really chase their physique, as in 99% of the world almost. They will never really chase that. And then they get older and then they find themselves to have a lot of medical and health problems, mobility issues, flexibility issues, and then they have so much regret just piling up. So when I have clients come to me and they say like, oh fuck, I have this, I have that injury, and good. See it in a positive way. You've been able to identify it. Once you are aware of the problem, half of it is already fixed, even more than half of it. You have no idea what your brain is capable of. It can heal your body. And this might be controversial or an opinion that has a lot of resistance towards it, but I think that whatever you think will become reality. So if you're so delusional or faithful that you will resolve the injury, you will heal, you have no idea what your brain is capable of. So in order for you to actually be in shape and become more mindful, you gotta play with resistance. You gotta learn how to play with that. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, go back to 5 minutes, go to 30 minutes, go back to 5 minutes, go to 50 minutes, and every habit that you do. I even have people that they wanna become an actor. And the first thing that I always tell them is like, okay, do you know people that are actors? And then, no, I don't. Cool. Then you know someone that is not do you know someone not personally that is an actor? And then, yeah, of course. What kind of habits do they do on a day-to-day basis? And then they start to think. It's like, okay, they might practice their acting skills. They might reach out to people. They might do whatever. I don't even know what an actor does. Now you just have to replicate these habits and start with 5 minutes each and then build up that resistance. So there is no perfect thing, there is no perfect program, everything works out there. Every single program works. It is simply showing up and doing it. Doing it through resistance, playing with that resistance, going up and down. And there is no secret thing out there that will give you that aha moment in order for you to make that progress. Yes, there could be moments, that you've lacked a certain type of information, but if you're into analysis paralysis, then that means that there is no secret thing out there. But the reason why I made this shift right now is because you have people that just need to hear one thing and they'll start taking action. That's the aha moment that I try to portray right now. The clients that get the best results into my program, results as in meaning becoming stress-free, having more productivity, more focus, getting in shape, becoming mindful, improving their relationship, just overall becoming a decent person, a well-rounded within every vertical of their life because they got in shape and they did the habits that they should do. They play dumb. They just do what I say. And the people that don't get the results, they always have something to say. They're always like, yeah, but this, but how should I do that? Or yeah, but the people that get the result, it's just like, okay, I'll do it, I'll try. Hey dude, it worked. Oh, okay, cool. We'll just double down on that. All right, I'll do that. And now the people that don't get results, they're always thinking, oh, there should be something more. Maybe there's something that he doesn't tell me, or he's keeping secrets or anything. No, like I said, there is no secret. Now this might be a short video, but I just wanted to get it out there. Just become aware of the habits that you should be doing on a day-to-day basis and then play with resistance. Not every single day has to be perfect. And stop looking at Instagram of people that portray that they're perfect because they are not. The people that you look up to have just been consistent. It is simply that. And they realize the habits that they should do on a day-to-day basis. And I always say that getting in shape is really hard. Starting your first business is probably really hard and you acknowledge that. Or your career, right? Going up in the corporate ladder is really hard, but once you're there, to maintain where you are is really easy. And the only reason because of that is because what kind of habits you should do, and that there is no perfect thing. It is just you doing habits and doing them repetitively until you become addicted. And then you become that person. So if there's any last thing that I can share with you here is that get out of your perfectionism. There is no perfect thing. There is no secret out there. Become aware of the habits that you should be doing and simply just focus on that. And your ego will try to deceive you. And the only way to become aware of that is by sitting down, listen to your thoughts, and become aware of yourself. Why do you think that way? Why do you behave in a certain way? Why do you feel this way? Start asking yourself these questions. The most tough people, they're not tough enough to sit down and listen to their thoughts. Now, if you want to stay in the loop and surround yourself with people that are actually good for your brain and for your influence, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you have that. Now, other than that, if you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe. I'm actually building a decent community here. Getting rid of the bro science, getting rid of conflicting information. I'm just giving it all away. I really do.